Every Ramadan, I raise money for boreholes in the Gambia. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said a drink of water is the best charity. Over the years, Spot has built over 215 boreholes, giving water to more than 100,000 people in crucial places like clinics and mosques. Help me make more, link in the description. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. So on the 20th of February, literally about 3 days ago, there was the Taraweeh prayer in Times Square, New York City. It was literally live streamed for everybody to see and be involved in. What is Taraweeh prayer? So currently Muslims are in the month of Ramadan. It's one of the 12 months in which Muslims are required to fast. As you guys can see, the Muslims have literally gathered, they're standing, they're praying. The Imam is reciting out loud, and that's it. Before that, there was the opening of the fast. As you can see, they're sitting down, eating. The organizer SQ is saying, look, finish your food. Non-Muslims can partake the food as well. They can join in. The whole point of doing this in Times Square is for the month to be shared with the community and for Muslims to be transparent at a time of Islamophobia, and people are wondering what's happening in the mosques. Is there a ritual taking place? People with hoods and candles. So that's literally it. Sound fair enough? Literally a couple of days before, there were Chinese Christians that were cordoned off, and they were celebrating and talking about Jesus and praying publicly. Literally a day later, on the 21st, there was a Jewish prayer and a concert that took place that hosted about 4,500 Jews. Now that is the rough context, yeah? Now let's see, before we jump into it, what people were saying. Let's look over here. This guy pretends to be Israeli, but he says proud Jewish, but his page has been exposed as being an Indian. It's classic, blah, blah, blah. Why do Muslims block the entire place for an Islamic prayer? Why is this allowed? So Congressman Randy Fine, who week before compared Muslims to dogs, he goes, why do we want to occupy Times Square to do this? The answer is in their call of prayer. Allah is the greatest, which Jews don't have a problem with because he's Jewish. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except Allah, which they have no issue with. There is none worthy of worship except Allah. Again, they have no issue with, because in Book of Nehemiah, they say, you alone are the God. This is not peaceful coexistence. Right? This is something Jews and Christians both accept. There's none worthy of worship besides God. Jesus called God Allah in Aramaic. Jews also call God Ilah. Now listen here. So the Muslims are praying. You can see literally prostrating, like Jesus did in the Garden of Gethsemane, put his head on the ground, and copious references in the Old Testament of prophets doing that as well. People on the side watching, but let's have a listen. You can see people of different colors and cultures, different ages, prostrating in front of God, right? As the Muslims are praying, you can see you got this young guy on the left, and you got this guy shouting things. People are praying. You effing hate gays.
You kill them. Stop killing gay people! Stop killing gay people! Stop killing.
So as you can see, he's shouting anti-Islamic sentiment, stuff that is present in the Old Testament. 99.9% of what they're saying is present in the Bible, if not worse. For example, you look in Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 2, kill the disbeliever. Deuteronomy chapter 13 verse 12, kill an entire city of disbelievers. Deuteronomy chapter 13 verse 6, kill your disbeliever friends and family. Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 17 says, death for not listening to the judge. Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 21 says, death for disobeying your parents. You guys get the point. He's talking about gays. Guess what the punishment of gays is in the Bible? Yes, also death. So you can see certain anti-Islamic figures have turned up. This individual over here has said the most vilest things against the Prophet, peace be upon him. He has chewed the Quran, spat it out. Ironically, he's in a documentary saying that he tried to kill his father with a hammer. So he turned up. So look over here, it's open. People are standing, they're watching, photographers are there, videoing. There's no restriction. If you want to join the prayer, you can join the prayer. All inclusive. So again, you're seeing the Taraweeh prayer taking place. A famous anti-Islamic preacher from the UK has, I think she's flown all the way to the US just so she could show her dog, because Congressman Randy Fine and his comparison of Muslims and dogs, she's further doubling down on that.
Stop cousin marriage!
And again, further anti-Islamic sentiment being shared, even though cousin marriage is something which is in the Bible as well. Isaac and Rebecca, they were cousins. Jacob and Rachel, they were cousins. Jacob and Leah, they were cousins. Numbers 36:10, you can have a look at that. And Abraham married his half-sister. So there's a bit of kind of incest taking place there as well. So any accusation is a confession.
False prophet. I am standing here in front of Muslims. Can you see? They are getting down to ruku for me. Now they are going to go down to sajda for me and for this lovely dog.
So again, you have a Christian lady who's claiming that the Muslims are prostrate. In other words, mocking the prayer. And then they put this, that the prayer is severed by a woman, a dog, and a donkey. So she obviously is claiming to have nullified the prayer, because obviously she fits in the donkey category. So not only is she just standing there and just doing whatnot, she's trying to invalidate the prayer. Obviously she's very low IQ. She doesn't understand that there is a sutra there. When someone prays, you have an object there about the size of your arm, which means that anyone can pass in front. Then you've got this person saying, let faith be private, public roads are not prayer halls. It's not a public road. Times Square can be booked by people of any faith, as we're going to see right now, because literally a day later, these were the headlines in the Jewish newspapers. Jewish pride takes over New York Times Square. The irony, they're saying Muslims are taking over when they just had one prayer on one day to literally get the public involved, show people how Muslims pray, what this month is about, share food with people, be transparent, and we get donkeys coming here trying to invalidate the prayer. I don't know if you heard, there were people banging pots and pans, shouting anti-Islamic sentiment, claiming that we're taking over. Okay, Zohran Mamdani apparently is taking over, so what happened to these individuals that turned up in protest? Nothing. Nothing happened. So this is a case study that I wanted to show you guys in detail of how it's completely preposterous and how it's completely like for like, because on the 20th there was a Taraweeh prayer, on the 21st we saw the Havdalah and the concert, and look, Jewish pride takes over. You had the screens that were taken over as well. Look at the screen over there. The screens. 1, 2, 3. I don't know the fourth one. I can't confirm that one. But look at the screens. At the Muslims event, the screens, we had all sorts of inappropriate imagery and people were saying, look, it's not really appropriate for prayer and this and that. These guys, they were able to get the screens as well. Frankly, I think we should learn from them. In another newspaper of this, teens, because it's called C-Teen that organized it, Jewish teenagers. So teens take over Times Square with Jewish pride. I thought it was some LGBT thing, but no, they're going for the literal understanding of the word pride. Thousands of Jewish teens from 60 countries will flood Times Square tonight, kicking off with the Havdalah, for one of the most visible displays of Jewish pride in the world. These pages are very quiet about this. You know what I mean? Literally a day later, no one turned up with pots and pans. No one was shouting anti-Jewish sentiment. No. Massive screens display Jewish messages of resilience, tradition, and videos of the Rebbe, which is their rabbi. Look at this one. Am Yisrael High. This is a statement that's been shouted down the throats of people that are talking and bringing awareness to the genocide, protesting American and British involvement against the genocide. And this is what they shout this. Am Yisrael High. According to them, that means the people of Israel live. So Palestinians are being killed, 72,000. They come and say, people of Israel live. So this statement has been linked to the Israeli aggression, the Israeli genocide that's been taking place in Palestine. You'll see, look at this picture, all women there, all women. Over here, all men. What's this? Very interesting. Over here, you guys see the placard says boys entrance. I thought you guys want people to assimilate and integrate with the American culture. Is segregation a part of American culture? Segregating the sexes. And this is in public. It's not even in a synagogue. Yeah, it's there. Times Square. You guys are saying blocking off the roads. Look, the blocking off the roads to segregate. Is this disrespect of women? Is this incompatible with American culture? Let's see what you guys will say. It goes further.
Girls, 50th Street Station, please get on train number 2.
So at the end of the event, the girls have different train. I don't know about the setup, which train they're referring to. Do they have a special train that's going to be coming for them?
Boys, go on any 2 or 3 train, boys.
And boys have a different train coming for them. I don't know how they managed that. And let's listen.
Look at that! C-Team is taking over Times Square.
C-Team, i.e. they've got their logo and their thing on the screens and furthering this notion of taking over. We've taken over, mate. Look how many of us there are.
C-Team, look at this takeover. Join me.
C-Team, look at this takeover. Join me. Have a look at that.
A big thank you to the Crown Heights community who
That's a lot of
hosted
people.
all of you.
And foreign flags. Mexican flag, UK flag, this flag and that flag.
See those flags.
Maybe what they were saying was peaceful and harmonious and this and that, and we're blowing things out of proportion. Let's listen to what this guy says.
Concentrate.
We're concentrating. Tell us, mate. Okay, I need to set up for this. Concentrate.
Because we are going to make history tonight.
Gonna make history tonight. Fantastic.
Not from a stage in Gaza with a bunch of monsters and savages.
Not from a stage in Gaza. Monsters and savages. Does he know that 72,000 people have been killed in Gaza? It's been flattened. Talks of taking it over, and he's further dehumanizing them as the police have cordoned off the area and they're shouting slogans that are frankly not American. Yem Israel High is not American. It's not an American slogan. And I also wanted to show you guys this as well. I'm gonna mute this. Look at this guy. Shomrim Manhattan. They've got their own police and security service patrolling the area. Segregation rules, their own police, singing songs that are not in English. This is the security. Yeah, again, Shomrim, she's Shomrim as well. Who's that over there walking past? Oh, it's Shomrim again. Thousands of C-teens fill Times Square for Havdalah and concert. So, yeah, concert, singing, dancing, loud music, speakers. Members of the public could not turn up because have a look at this picture. Yeah, all white women. Can you see a single black Asian woman over here? Not a single one. Dazzling Times Square screamed, Am Yisrael High. So this took place a couple of days before. Look, singing, performing their prayers in front of everyone. They got security there and everything.
Look at this.
So he's literally there. There's no barricade stopping him. He's literally there. The person's praying. He's pretty much like a meter away from him saying, look at this.
These are people who claim to respect Jesus.
Yes, we're praying like Jesus. You should join us. Let's get to the point. He puts this thing up. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Oh, what's going on over here? Literally the same place. It's Times Square a couple of days before. Yeah, just who are they? Who are the placards for? For themselves? Who are they facing? Themselves? No, the people, the passers-by. So, ladies and gentlemen, the hypocrisy, the irony, just from Times Square, using that as a case study, is so apparent and so clear for somebody that is factual and unbiased. You guys can see it yourself. What were the Muslims doing that was bad? Nothing. What's the point doing it in an obscure mosque where people are already scared of you? Why would they want to come into your mosque? It doesn't make any sense. In fact, it was fantastic. Islam invasion. Tomorrow, when they perform their Ramadan conquest prayer, we will join with our dogs. How aggressive is this? Taking your dogs over there. What a weird thing. And then this guy talking about performative Christian prayers. What's this guy doing?
And without him, was not anything.
You don't even know it by heart, dude? You don't even know it by heart?
Shouting the Bible to people that are praying.
What kind of Christian are you? You gotta read from a phone?
Respect to this guy though. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.